Welcome to Ground Up Growth, where we share entrepreneurial insights, business strategies, and personal growth lessons to help listeners build success from the ground up.
Welcome back to Ground Up Growth. Today we are continuing our conversation with Mr. Lonnie Stevenson. He is the owner of Circle S Incorporated, an industrial cleaning company, and he is a former PBR Finals bull rider. Lonnie, thank you again for spending some time with us and unpacking your story. That was very interesting, and you've come a long way and built a heck of a company. I think on today's episode, we want to dive in a little bit more on just some advice that maybe you could give our listeners on, what does it take to succeed? What does it take to grow a company, and just, maybe sprinkle in some life stories with us. 'Cause I know you've been on the rodeo circuit. There's got to be some stories out there. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of them you can say on here. It would incriminate some folks.
Well, I'm curious, what was your favorite state? Because you traveled all over the country doing the rodeo. What was your favorite state to go to?
We liked it in Oregon.
Really?
Rode in Pendleton, Oregon. That's one of the cool places we went. But I really liked Canada too. We would travel all across Canada, and went to Brazil riding twice down there, and I don't have to go back down there.
How do you, walk me through that, because you're not.
What's that?
Like, how you getting a bull to Brazil?
Well, the PBR got invited by the professional organization in Brazil. One of our bull riders back then, now the PBR is full of Brazilian bull riders, but back then there was only one guy, and his name was Adriano Moraes, and he came from Brazil, and he was a heck of a bull rider, wound up becoming a PBR world champion and all. Well, he had ties back in Brazil, and they invited the top, I want to say 10 American bull riders down there to ride in their big rodeo. It's called Barretos. It's a week-long rodeo, bull riding. Wow. And all the top Brazilians are there, and then they invited the Americans, and I think they invited maybe some of the Canadians as well. But I got to go there twice, so it was pretty neat to go see.
Yeah, that sounds super interesting.
When we were there, the first night we were there, they have like a qualifier round for the Brazilians to get to ride in the main event. And my traveling partner, me and J.W. Hart, we were sitting there, and this one kid gets killed off. I'm talking about this bull rears up, and it drops out, and it just chili whops him. And he hits the ground. He does not move it. We swore it killed him. About that time, it was just like on a cartoon. The gates opened, they drove out in this little bitty, looked like a clown car, pulled up beside him, the doors popped out. Two people got out, they grabbed his head and grabbed his feet, slammed him on the thing, put him on the board, took back off, pulled him up the top of the hill and parked. And nobody got him out or nothing. I told my partner, I said, if I get hurt, make them leave me alone. I don't want them to come get me and take me out. So it was kind of scary, because we took our team doctor down there, Tandy Freeman. He was the PBR kind of team doctor. He would go to all the events, and I'll never forget, I told Tandy, if I get hurt down here, don't you let them, you take me and do whatever you got to do, but don't let them get me.
Goodness.
So,
man.
But it was a pretty cool experience.
Man, that is.
You talked about growing up in the rodeo. You learned so many life lessons through that. What are some of those that you would say?
I don't know if it's life lessons. It just, when you're rodeoing, like once I got out of high school, I started going to, PRCA rodeos, and you have to call the office, you have to enter the rodeo, you have to plan your whole trip, and, you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
So there's
responsibilities involved.
Yeah, you get all the life responsibilities that you have, and you either succeed and you win and you do it the right way, or you go broke and you go home. So, and there was sometimes I had to go home and go back to work. So, but I don't know. We learned how to. I guess rodeo teaches you core values. You go to a rodeo. What's the first thing they do? They do the national anthem and they pray.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't have those values instilled in you, you're not going to ever amount to nothing. So, but no, I learned a lot. Learned how to grow up and take care of myself. So, you know, I don't know I think everything in life kind of molds you and develops you for the next step. So,
Yeah.
but I would have never thought I'd be where I'm at right now, but I've always dreamed about being right where I'm at right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't know. Every dream I've ever had, it's come true. So I don't know. I'm not a real deep person, but anyway, I think if you work hard, and that's the thing nowadays, everybody says you got to go to high school, you got to finish high school, you got to go to college, you got to go get a 4-year degree so you can make something of yourself. And I don't have a degree. I got a semester and a half at Jones Junior College. And my wife says, that's so stupid. Why do you say you went a semester and a half? Why do you even just say you went a semester? I said, well, the half was the most fun. I had the most fun that half. I didn't do any schooling, but it was a lot of fun. But no, I think nowadays, if somebody's out there and I tell everybody that all you got to do is be willing to work,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever you do, you put pride in it and quality. That's what we tell our employees that work with us. We may be doing the nastiest, dirtiest job, but if you don't take pride in it, there's no sense in doing it.
Yeah.
So.
No, I agree with that 100%. And I agree with you that it's unfortunate, but in the world we're in now, it's like labor. A lot of these guests that we talk to that run businesses that have, labor intensive employees, it's just that is the biggest pain point and the biggest hurdle is finding people that want to work. And if you are one of those people that, if you're younger and you're up and coming and, I'm all for college and, I think that you need to go to college, but in the same breath, if you will work hard, it's actually pretty easy. You could do, and I tell people, I've talked to my dad about this over the years, and like I would love to just proof of concept, but I think you could take any industry. Like I've almost wanted to do it just to prove it with hard work, determination, good work ethic, pride, like you're saying. If you put all that in the blender, you could go disrupt any industry.
Mm-hmm.
I really, I say disrupt. I mean, there's a piece of the pie for somebody that wants to work hard in every single industry. I could go start, whatever, a plumbing company or a termite company or whatever. And if you just do what you say you're going to do, show up on time, work hard, be professional, it's almost elementary to me, and I may be off on that, but just echoing what you said, that's hard work that's going to win every single time.
Yeah, it's, I told all my employees, we had a foreman's meeting. Every year we try to have a meeting kind of towards the beginning of the year, and we talk about, last year and how it went, the good, the bad. And then we talk about, the future. And I told them last year that my goal was for everybody in this room to make over $100,000. So
wow.
Some of them, they were making 70, 80,000, some of them, and there's a couple of them that was right there teetering on it. And we had about 17, 18 people in there. And I looked at I reviewed the books and stuff, and we had our meeting this year, and I think there was 3/4 of those people hit over 100,000. So
Wow.
I was very impressed with that, and we grew. I mean, they didn't just make 100,000; they worked their butts off.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we work a lot of many hours, and we we do a lot to do what we do, but my main goal is for everybody that works for our company to be able to afford the life that they want.
Right.
And
Giving them that opportunity, and then I love that, incentivizing them. But at the end of the day, in order to get that 100, you got to put the work in. I mean, but you're creating a runway and an opportunity for them. If they want it, they can get it, and here it is. And I think that's huge, and I think that's a testament to the success of y'all's company and the long-term employees that you have. I mean, it's things like that. You're not looking out for your bottom line. You're looking at, hey, look, having those meetings and saying, hey, I want everybody in here to succeed. I mean, that
we have a
Yeah.
really, really good team. I've got an operations manager. His name's Jason McPhail. And I'm not going to name all my people, but he has been a big help for me. In our office, we got 2 secretaries, Cindy and Trish, and then my wife, she does the payroll, Joanne. They make a great team. They all work together back and forth. If one's out, this week my wife's been really sick, and Trish and Cindy jumped in and, pitched in and did what they had to. And then we've got road supervision. I got Superintendent Chris McCardle. He's been with us 31 years, I believe now.
Wow.
And he helps keep things going out on the road, go to different jobs, and he reports back to me and to Jason. And we've got a lot of great people out there. We've got another guy, Elliot Cole. He kind of handles our GP Monticello operation, which is our biggest operation. We've been working there since '82, and
dang.
we worked there many times. And all these big corporations, the mill people there, they understand our value. They understand what they get when they get us. Well, they're the upper level bosses, some even in corporate, they push down their throats. You need to be quoting these jobs out. You need to be trying to get a cheaper price. And every time they do, they fail, and we jump in and have to bail them out.
Right.
So,
Ends up costing more, right?
but it's all because of a great team. We've been very successful. We've been blessed many, many ways. But have you ever seen a turtle on his post? If you see a turtle on a post, that's kind of what I am. I didn't put myself up there.
Yeah.
It takes the whole team to put. So if you see a turtle on a post, somebody put
Yeah,
his
he
foot
didn't get up there by
Yeah.
himself.
So that's the way I attribute our business. We're successful, but I'm just part of the team.
Right. I think that's, yeah.
And a lot of companies, a lot of management. The problem with a lot of them is they segregate their sales from their employees. And that employee's out there doing the same thing I'm doing. He's trying to make a living.
Right. And without that employee, you're nothing.
Yeah,
So
you're nothing. So,
I think that's, deflecting all the, succeeding and stuff and putting it back on the spotlight and the employees, the people that help you. That's how you grow a business. That's how you instill morals and ethics. And I just think y'all are doing a really good job of that. And that's evident in y'all's success.
one of the coolest things I ever did, we started working a lot with Ergon. They're based out of here at Jackson. And Mr. Lampton, he was one man. He started his business with one truck. And he grew that business in one generation. His generation, he passed away when he was 90, I think 89 or 90, recently, a year or two ago. But I got to ride on the plane, Ergon plane, to West Virginia. They have a refinery up there. And I got to ride on that plane, and Mr. Lampton was going to be there. And I was like, oh, God, I gotta straighten up. Mr. Big L's, they called him Big L. Big L's going to be on that plane. He got on that plane, and he talked to me just like, like we've known each other forever. Well, Lonnie, tell me about your business, your family, yada yada.
Wow.
And then when we was coming home, and we had a full load coming home, the owner of that $1 billion business, he sat on the toilet seat on the way back on the jet.
Really?
Yeah. First one in there. He went straight, because it's a belted lavatory. So you can use it as a seat or a lavatory. So He was the first one on the plane. He went straight to the back, got on the toilet, and they said, "Get up! You're not riding back there." He said, "Yeah, I am. Just go." So
And that stuck with you all these years. I mean,
it just,
it's
somebody
those
of
little
that
breadcrumbs.
stature.
Those
Yeah.
little breadcrumbs.
He started out with just one truck and one business, with just a dream, and they have over 4,500 employees, 53 businesses, and just thrive. And they said that if you saw him, and it was a really cool story too, if you saw him and he asked you how your family was doing, what's your kids, his wife's name, he could go to his employees and call their names of their family.
That's huge.
It's pretty cool.
That's intentional. I mean, that's
I don't know if I'll ever get to that, but I guess he would be my goal now, is to get like that. But I'll never get to there.
I feel
he's
like,
your Lane Frost of the business
Yeah.
world.
Exactly. Yeah.
but I feel like there's so many elements of that you do. And I can see that from this conversation, but also Adam Black that referred you to come on this podcast. He was like, he runs a really successful business. He's going to walk in there in jeans and talk to you like as plainly as you could.
Well, Adam, it cost me about $3,500 to get him to say all those nice things. But I wrote a hot check to him, so
There you go.
He'd say whatever you wanted him to.
yeah. But no, it's we've been very blessed. I guess I had a really good family that brought me up, and you learn a lot from the people you're around. I've just been
Yeah.
fortunate to be around some really good people. So
Well, you're
yeah.
leaving a legacy too. I mean,
You are. And I feel like it's more rare these days to hear about people that are running businesses with those type of morals, and to just have people like somewhere along the way as a society, we've lost a lot of morals. And I think about my grandparents and people that how the things that they tried to instill, like trying to be sure that our generation is trying to instill that. That's why I love having you on the podcast and everything you've been saying. And you should write a book, and I'd read it as soon as you do.
that.
But those type of things I think are really important for people entering the world, and especially their career, to learn and try to live by, because we need more of that.
definitely. That's really good. Well, Lonnie, thank you so much for coming on. This has been really good, really impactful, and I'm excited to watch your business continue to grow. And you got me wanting to go get a pilot's license now.
I tell
Yeah, you
what,
just sprinkled that in there.
Yeah, my love is aviation. I mean, I fly. I looked at my logbook last night, as a matter of fact. I flew 28 hours in the last 30 days, which for a private pilot, that's pretty good. I flew 100 hours. I flew over 200 hours in the last year. So
Wow. How far can you go on your plane?
till it runs out of gas. Sorry about that. No, I've got several different airplanes. I've got a little small airplane that I use as a toy. You can fly it all day long on about $50. So it's kind of like a little bush plane, kind of like a little Piper Cub. So you can fly it pretty good ways, but I've got a little Rockwell Commander 4-seater airplane. It was my dad's. We've owned it since '89. And
Golly.
whenever he passed away, it had 1,200 hours on it, and it just rolled over 5,000 hours. So,
Do you do all the maintenance on it, or is that?
no, I've got a maintenance.
Yeah.
I take it to a shop over in Laurel, Mississippi, and they take care of it. We do preventative stuff, changing oil and stuff like that. And then recently we purchased a little 6-seater jet. I use it a lot in the business.
Yeah.
It's an Eclipse jet. It shrinks the world. It's so awesome because like one day I had a meeting at GP Monticello at 4:00 in the afternoon. I had one in Augusta, Georgia at 8:00 that morning. So I flew that morning. I left with my safety manager and one of my superintendents. We flew over there to that meeting. Did the safety meeting for the outage, walked through the job with the customer, jumped the plane, flew back to Prentice, went to the paper mill, had the other meeting, and I was in my recliner at 5:30 that afternoon.
Oh, that's priceless there.
So
Now
It-
you're
it
really
makes-
going to go get your pot. You
Oh,
think
yeah, I
about all
don't
the
need to be
places
hearing all
you
that
can go.
stuff. Man, goodness. I'm actually buying a ranch in Montana today.
Really?
And you got me wanting to fly out there.
Well, why don't
I
we
say
fly
this,
out there and I'll fly
hey,
out there and we can look at
we
it.
may work something out here. That I don't know. I'll probably be Group 8 for life. I'm sure. They always put me next to the toilet every time. But no, that's interesting. I want to do that. I'll talk to my wife.
She is not going to let
She
you
ain't gonna let me do that. That'd be a long process to talk her into that. But
They train right over here in Madison.
yep.
Good friend of mine. Are you from, you know Nick Yokotanis?
Yeah.
He just got his pilot's license.
Did he?
Yep.
Wow. Well, see, that's
Oh
one
my
more. I need
goodness.
to join the
There you go.
crowd. So
I have one last question and then we can
Yes,
totally wrap up. But your dad, you spoke a little bit about that on the last podcast. Legacy's obviously very important to you. What is one thing from your dad that he instilled in you just by who he was that you want to be sure you pass down to the next generation?
I guess it would be just work hard, you know. I don't know. My dad was always the life of the room, the life of the party, you know, but whenever it come to work, when the door opened on his truck, he got out of the truck to work, everybody worked, you know. So I don't know. He was such a good man, and a lot of his values and stuff kind of trickled into me, and I would say that's what it would be the most. You know, just enjoy what you're doing, but be the best at what you do. So
that's good. That's really good.
That is awesome.
Well, Lonnie, thank you so much.
appreciate
And
it.
Yeah, thank you
I'll
so
be looking
much.
for
This
you
was
in the
so
sky, I guess.
Or on the ramp, if you got your plane, you'll be right there beside me.